What's up, buddy boyos? Night cruise. Coming back from the gym. Something I wanted to talk about is that, look, you can't be everything in life. You can't be, I know there's this whole self-improvement thing of the 2010s, which also correlated with the financial recession around 2009, which ended up shaping the 2010s. Which the 2010s was pretty much everyone's poor, few people are rich. Look at me, haha! I'm an influencer, and I'm blogging, and I'm getting paid, and I don't have to go up to demand every day. And everyone else was just like fighting with their bosses, hating being a wagey, just making fun of being a wagey. That was pretty much the 2010s. But anyways, digressed hugely there. But the main thing is that there's this whole self-improvement thing going on at the time for men, because they didn't feel like they were all at the bottom tier, and the women didn't want bottom tier men. They only wanted high tier, upper, like 1% tier. So every man was on self-improvement, self-improve this, self-improve that. You guys, so then you had guys that that were directing themselves to improve in all aspects of life, which is great, but mental health wise, you gotta be realistic as well. Like how do I say it? You gotta pick a lane. You gotta pick a lane of your life, of how your life is gonna be. You gotta realize what you are. It helps if you take a personality test. That'll help you a lot. If you take some sort of personality test, maybe take the Myers-Briggs, take a career type. It helped me a lot. So you can see, at the end of the day, what kind of guy are you, and then what, for your flaws, maybe shape them up so that they meet the minimum, and then just go hard on your strengths, like leverage your natural strengths. So you can't, you're saying go lift the barbell up to this amount of pounds, do 2 times your body weight benching, but at the same time read books every day, read loads of books. There's no quantity of how much books you can read every day. Just read just to read. And then on top of that, spiritualize, and then on top of that, career max, everything max. You can't, that's not realistic. Every guy, if you go around to boxing gyms, and you go to research places, then you go to academia, then you go to high corporate, you'll realize most people are very sectored into one aspect of their life. Very few people are kind of Renaissance man, does everything. When I go to my corporate workplace, I tell them I play these sports, and I'm usually trying to be well-rounded, but especially with engineering, and it's very foreign. The majority of guys just work for STEM. Majority of guys just work and then come home, maybe watch Netflix, go with their wife or girlfriend. You'd be surprised. Engineers are very serious when it comes to LTRs. They're not into casual hookups and all that stuff. We're just very practical. We don't want to hang around with people that we don't like. I never understood that. But just fighting or playing sports, I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's usually out of the norm. And then when you go to boxing gyms, I'm not saying they're dumb, but you're just not going to be able to talk about much scientific stuff, because that's not, majority of them are, especially the real fighters, their analytical IQ is kind of low. Especially the really good fighters, some of them are a lot of them can be humble, but the analytical IQ is not the greatest there. So, and then you go to a book circle, and then the thing about book circles, actual book circle, not red pill, read a book every day circle. I mean people that actually read a lot, I'm talking about, they read every day different books about different aspects of history and stuff. These people, you can't really, they don't know much about finance, making gains, making monthly gains, how much you're making monthly, how much is your side businesses. $3,000 a month. I'm making $4,000 cash, bro, on this side. B2B business. This, all this money, bro, stuff. A lot of them don't care for that stuff, nor do they even know about that stuff. They'll sound dumb if they try to participate, but that's because they don't care. And if you go to the money bro guys, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm making like my side business, and then I'm charging this, and then my sales, bro, and then all that. But then you talk to them, not all of them, but you talk to the majority of them about like stuff outside their world, outside their bubble, outside their, and they don't know. They have some of the most lowest book IQ, broad spectrum of society IQ out there. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pick a lane of who you are and kind of just be proud of that, embrace it, and know that you're not gonna know the other parts of your life. You're not gonna know the other parts that well. There are gonna be other people that are just great at that. But the best thing you can do is just be aware that you're not that smart at that other stuff. But yeah, pick a lane. Trying to be an every man, like a Renaissance man, it's gonna destroy your mental health. And I kind of fell into that trap sometimes as well. Especially if you were like red pilled or something, or just outside of being red pilled, if we're on that self improvement thing, and you're just trying to improve yourself in every single way. That's not how life works. You kind of have to just sector in, and not just for a phase, but just in life as a person. Yeah, like pick a lane. Like for me, I've always been like half and half, like I guess maroon pilled in a way. But I've always been ambitious as heck, but I've been able to understand the smart people when they speak. So I respect the really smart, high analytical people. Meanwhile, other people will just sidestep them or just call them nerds, and I'll say like, no, these guys are the future. These guys know what's coming up next. And then I'm the kind of guy that translates what they're saying into the masses. That's kind of been my thing. That's what I am. And then some people find that kind of low IQ, and they become the high IQ people actually doing the research and the developments. And I respect that. I respect that they do that. And that's good. They utilize that high IQ to be stimulated in that way. And then some people are lower analytical IQ than me, and just are more into just like the sales stuff, just like the talking stuff, and that's fine. There's a lot of emotional IQ there that they have to use, and a lot of people manipulation perhaps, but that's fine. That's something they do. So we all have our important parts in society, and you're gonna, after around, hopefully in your mid 20s, late 20s, it'd be cool if you could do it as soon as possible, but there's no rush really. But you just have to be realistic that you have to pick a lane in life, and just embrace your strengths, but don't forget about your weaknesses. Just it seems like you have to just hone your weaknesses so they're adaptable. They're to the minimums of the society around you. Yeah, so that's all.